Is a monthly law firm newsletter worthwhile, or should we direct our efforts elsewhere? Generally speaking, my advice is a hard no for email newsletters and a hard yes for email campaigns. So let me explain. Email marketing is by far the most effective way to proactively reach your audience with some sort of update. So if you have something that you need to tell people, email marketing is by far the most effective way to do it. It absolutely towers over, say, social media platforms or advertising. So my answer said absolutely yes for email campaigns and kind of a hard no for email newsletters. So it might sound like semantics, but I thought maybe let's talk about, what the difference is between the two things. So when I think of an email newsletter, I think of something that's sent on a regular basis, like it's sent every month, which is what you're talking about. It might like reference, say, multiple articles. So say it has, say, links to 3 articles. It would typically be quite a long email as a result. So if it's got 3 articles, it's going to be quite lengthy. It'd often be referred to as something like in the subject line. So March 2025 issue or April 2025 issue or something like that. And email newsletters are usually sent to everyone. So just everyone that's ever subscribed to the firm or had any interaction with the firm gets sent the newsletter. An email campaign, on the other hand, is sent on an as-needed basis. So it's sent as news arises or as something's published. And it's usually a single message. So it's one message, one email. It's kind of a rule that we would normally have. If you have one message, send in one email. And it's sent to a specific group of people. I prefer email campaigns. And the issue I see with email newsletters is, firstly, internally, they're really hard to coordinate. You're trying to get articles coming in from different people on a deadline when lawyers have court and clients breathing down their neck. That can be a really hard thing to do. The other part of that is sometimes partners will get annoyed that their clients are being communicated to. That's a whole other thing. But I would also say that unless your firm has a really niche focus, there's rarely going to be a single person that receives, say, an email newsletter that will find all of the content useful. It's pretty unlikely that it's going to be 3 articles. They're usually going to be different topics, and they're probably going to have 3 different audiences. If they are all relevant, so say we take those 3 articles that you're producing every month, why wouldn't you send them as separate campaigns as they arise? Like, you're going to get 3 times the impact. You're going to be able to have a really on-point subject line, so it's going to be about that content, and you're going to send a brief email. And who doesn't love a brief email? So if we keep in mind the goal of sending out this information, so if we turn that into, if we think about that from the perspective of email campaigns, the goal for lawyers when it comes to email marketing isn't to increase open rates or click-through rates or anything like any other sort of digital marketing metric like that. I think it's like way simpler than that. And it's as simple as it's just to get a reply. So if you send an email and it's about one thing, it's more likely to get a reply. And it's those replies that leads to conversations. And those conversations are what leads to work. And I think campaigns do this, and newsletters are just too broad to kind of get those responses. So my preference is definitely to focus on email campaigns. But like everything, there's a but. There's always, exceptions to the rule. I have seen email newsletters work really well at a few firms. An example I have is where a firm has a really reasonably tight niche, so one audience. They include like 1 to 2 pieces of content that aren't time sensitive, but really relevant to their audience. Where I think this works really well is they include a personal note from the managing partner. And it'll be quite short, but it'll just include some of the initiatives that the firm have coming up, like they're attending a conference and they hope to see you there, or they've got an event that they're hosting and you'd like to invite them, that type of thing. It might just have some, like a paragraph or two that kind of introduces that. They might even mention, say, some, if they've got like a firm announcement, like they brought on a new partner that brings a new skill. So rather than sending that out as a single campaign announcing a new partner, they might whip that into their newsletter. That could work. Where I've seen these work well, these are usually sent out like once every 2 or 3 months, definitely not every month. I don't think most firms would have enough news for something like that. But in that instance, the newsletter's received really well and it's done really well. But just grouping like 3 articles, doing it every month, sending it to everyone, I think you'll be disappointed with the results. I think if you just tweak them to email campaigns, sending them to specific parts of your list, you're going to notice a much better outcome.